Hello! Coming in hot. My meeting overran massively. So I'm late and I've just thrown down an apple. So I'm sure I'll be picking bits of apple out of my teeth throughout the stream, which is highly attractive stuff. That's what all the pro streamers do, right? Pick bits of apple out of their teeth as they're streaming. Let's get on with this. So last time we had started the prep on our new hot planet, and unfortunately, well, it's not unfortunate, but we need to continue that process. Now, do I have... I've still got a load of them left. Have I got turbines? Yeah, okay. So really, this is just another stream of me sort of laying down miners, really, and putting stuff into... maybe if we do that one there, into boxes. Thrilling stuff. And let's do you there as well. Excuse me, burps as well. That's bonus. So we want these power lads down. One there. One there. Maybe one there. And one there. And let's angle that round. Haven't been any updates to the game this time. They're really active, the devs, when you think about it. But no updates this time because they've gone on holiday. They, being a Chinese studio, they're celebrating Chinese New Year, the Year of the Ox. Last year was the Year of the Rat, I think. Which is all very, think about it, slightly ironic, given the reputation of rats in causing disease and what happened last year. Quite what that means if you follow the theme through, I'm not sure. What it absolutely means is that the Steam GOG Epic... Oh no, Epic's already had this, I think. But the Lunar New Year sales have been happening, have started, are underway. So I now need to resist the temptation to buy even more games that I'm never going to play. It may be a bit of a challenge. Where are we going to put this box? Let's put this box here. And is that right? No. Whoops. Why are you not? Okay. Take that out. I was thinking the other day about reviving the video making side of the channel. And obviously this is a video, but I mean as in, you know, proper pre-recorded videos. Well, not not proper, but pre-recorded videos. I've got the week off next week. I mentioned that on the last stream, so I'll probably see if I can do a bit of editing. The problem is I enjoy creating the basic content, but the editing, just, I find it really boring. I think I discussed this last time, but it's mainly, I think, because of the type of thing I'm editing. You know, it's not... I was going to say it's not interesting. You know, it's the games I like to play, but... You know, how thrilling is a video on Factorio exactly? Or, you know, episode 57 of a... It's interesting where the power... No, that isn't connected. How it connects the power up seems a bit random almost. Let's get that over there. But yeah, I think I enjoy. I enjoy sort of making the actual content that goes. Even not Let's Plays. So the when I've done things I enjoyed most actually, because I've had a go at a few things. There's like the pre-recorded, pre-scripted. Let's put it that way. Scripted content. What's the proper term? Scripted content. So like, one of my favourite videos to make was the problems of Fallout 76, or things they could have done better at launch. I think I called it. Eventually. That's what I put these ones on as well. Because that meant that was writing a script, and writing is kind of what I enjoy doing, really, most. My job is kind of writing, not the same sort of writing, but don't get me wrong, I don't know that I find it. Well, I do find it easy. Actually, I've never had problem writing. I know some people really struggle with writing, but I've never actually had trouble writing. I do have motivation problems, as in if I'm not particularly interested in what I'm doing, then it can be a bit of a struggle to get, to actually start work on it. But that's obviously never been a problem when I've done, pre-scripted videos, because, I'm doing them because I'm interested in them. What I'm talking about. But in terms of then well, to some extent, of course, you have to do, particularly if they're gameplay videos. And you don't have to, you can talk to the camera and stuff. Now that I've got a webcam, I might give that a go as well. But you have to, you get capture video, illustrating what you're talking about, and unless you've kind of recorded the whole game, that can often be a bit hard. But I never mind doing that, because you could be talking about a specific instance, or maybe a bug or something that got patched out or whatever. So unless you recorded it when it was actually happening, you've not got that footage, It's that sort of thing that can be a bit problematic with those sorts of videos, but not too much of a problem, and not one I sort of mind too much. But yeah, I also one of my sort of something I'd love to do as a video series is a sort of a, how to put it, like designing a game, but not. I don't have any game design, experience, but more. So it'd be more like concepting a game. So, what types of systems it would probably end up having in it, but I say it's not really developing a game or designing a game, because what tends to happen in reality is you have that whole thing of trying to find the fun of a game. Because you can come up with any design, you know, you come up with a design and then you try it as a game. You know, put together a grey box version of it, and it turns out it's not actually any fun. Whoop. So I need to connect this over, like that maybe. Oh, it's a bit of a rubbish place for that. Let's get a nice line. There we go. That's better. Yeah. So the idea would be to sort of come up with a basic concept of a game. And sort of, you know, say how I would envisage the systems in the game working. Because I have a lot of ideas, and I thought it might be fun to see. Sometimes I don't understand how it works them out, because how has that overlapped those patches? So yeah, don't know quite how it works them out sometimes. Anyway. And then I'd just do a sort of short series of videos, basically sort of saying different aspects of the game. So the overall concept, you know, what the sort of aim of the game was for you as a player, how some of those systems in the game would work. What decisions you might have to make. Because we're talking generally, you know, games of the type I like to play, so, you know, complex systems games, you know, managing things, building things. And it probably wouldn't be a viable idea for a game as such, but I think it'd be quite fun to put the videos together. But I always sort of run into this thing of sort of saying, I mean, it's a video. It's meant to be a video. It's not a podcast. So how do I illustrate it? How do I show it? If you see what I mean. Because I don't particularly fancy sort of commissioning any artwork or anything like that. I wouldn't want to steal any artwork, or, you know, just use it without paying for it. So that's a bit off if and when people do that. So I'd have to do something, and my art skills are atrocious. You know, you're talking MS Paint kind of style. I could do that, and I could also show things from, you know, where I'm saying essentially you pinch a system, show things from games you would pinch them from. So I think it'd be quite fun to do, but I say I always kind of run into this problem, as I say, of how I'm going to illustrate it, how I'm going to show it, and then as part of that, all the editing that's required. I can kind of see, it's interesting when you look at some of these big channels. Maybe big's not quite the right word. Popular channels. They clearly have editors. You know, they have people either as part of the company or whatever you want to call it, who are editors that edit the videos. You know, professional editors. And it's almost like a self, what would you call it? Self-perpetuating system, in the sense that, you know, that frees up the, shall we call them, creative talent to make the videos. you know, the actual, come up with the idea of what the video's about, that sort of thing. Can I connect those? Are you going to let me connect those? You're not going to let me connect those. What about if I put it down? Are you going to connect it then? Yeah, you do. There's another one that it doesn't show you the connections all the time. There must be a slight difference in the algorithm. One is, the prediction one is perhaps, you know, truncating at a different distance maybe. But yeah, so, you know, so it's interesting to see, because you see that what that means is that you then get people, you know, it's like any company in a sense where people specialise in certain things, have specialist skills, expertise, that sort of thing, and so you get almost the best out of both worlds, where, you know, someone who is good at editing, trained in it or whatever, can do the editing. But of course, there has to be enough, you know, well, however they're getting paid, advertising revenue or sponsorship or whatever. Patreon, you know, people do Patreon. Technically, I have a Patreon, but after a while, with no patrons, they they turn it off. If you don't have any patrons, Patreon basically unpublishes your page eventually. I don't know why that amused me so much. Patreon's an odd thing when you think about it. If you're only like donating most patrons only donate like $1 or $2. You know, most people who, you know, will do a Patreon. Are you not going to let me? They'll only donate $1 or $2, but it's like the Patreon. I mean, Patreon obviously knows this. And they take a huge proportion of a $1 or $2 you know, what do you, they're not subscriptions, are they? You know, donation or whatever you want to call it. That basically virtually all of it goes, but because there are so many, it sort of self-compensates a bit. So, you know, if you've got 1,000 patrons, just to use a round number, at $1 or $2. You know, that's, well, say it's $1 each, obviously that's $1,000, but Patreon takes a huge proportion of that, to the extent that the person only probably sees, I can't remember, I did see some proper numbers somewhere, but it's something like, so if it's $1,000, they end up with like, I think it's about 300, something like that. You'd be amazed at how much goes to Patreon. And tax, obviously, there's, you know, income tax and all that sort of stuff. Because, you know, Patreon takes that out, basically. So it's only really when you get into the sort of $5 tier that you're actually kind of properly... Because the bigger the donation, the smaller the proportion Patreon itself takes. Why did I connect that there and not there? Yeah, so it's an odd sort of thing where, you know, you might see, oh, they've got, you know, well, let's use the same number, 1,000. Say 1,000 Patreons. They're like, oh, they must be raking it in, but actually they're not, you know, because the majority of it's going to Patreon. But the numbers are sufficiently large overall that it is worth, you know, it's not like it's not worth them having that. Ah, capitalism, eh? Down there. So I don't know why it's doing the, you know, the whooshy noise of the wind, because this isn't a particularly windy planet. Now, am I going to be able to put a power pole in that? I'm not, am I? No. Okay. But if we put that close enough, does that amplify coverage? Yes, it does. Okay. Put one in there. One in. Oh. That'll do us. So, is this segment all done? Have we got... Oh, I need to... Did I block that off? No, I didn't. Is this segment all done? Have we got any others that aren't being exploited? No, they're all being exploited there. So we've done that one already, because that just has a stone. Done those. So we've got these ones here. So we've got 4 more things, and then this, I think this is the last bit, isn't it? Because this has got, oh no, there's silicon there. But these two haven't got anything in them whatsoever. Okay, so where are we? We're here, aren't we? So if we go up to this coal first, I might actually smelt some of that because I don't have. Oh no, I got enough. I think. Yeah. Let's put 3 of them in. That hole. No, no. There. Let's pop it along there. And then some power stuff. Put that there. That there. And what there? How are we doing with our power? It should slowly be creeping up, because even though these are like, was it 70% effective? No, they get 80% effective. I'm adding in generally more than I'm using, so it should slowly creep up. Probably end up about 200, I think. It's probably where we'll get to. Is there another patch? Oh no, we are. We're tapping that one. I was going to say, I thought I'd spotted one that I'd missed. So, what do we think? Something like... How about one there? One there? Maybe... one there? That's a bit crap on both of them, isn't it, really? A bit crap. Okay, so plop, say, one of them in there. Or do I want to put it... What is that? That's coal, isn't it? Pop it there. That's quite a way away, so why don't we use one of these? Pop it there. Where are we going next? There's downwards, isn't it? For this silicon, that stone, that silicon, and all of those. Oh dear. Sorry, I went all quiet there. Another thing I'd quite like to do, another sort of series, is like I'm trying to think of the term. They're not polemics, but so I have this. How would you call it? I guess theory. It's not really a theory then. But this sort of notion, I say it's not the right word, I can't think of the right word. So games, how do I put this? Well, basically, well, I'll say what the thing is. It's basically games aren't really about genres. I'm not explaining that very well. Basically. So games are systemic entertainment is the basic point. They're not about genres. So, or rather, how we have genres that you understand as genres aren't really what games are. So, for example, science fiction is a genre, but a game can be science fiction and be wildly different to another game that's science fiction. So this is science fiction, but this isn't a first-person shooter, and that's kind of the point, in a sense that if something is a first-person shooter, it's describing a game mechanic. It's not describing a genre as such. It's just that for games, the sort of terms have become intertwined and interrelated. So. Oh, almost out of level 2 belt. How much more can I make? Loads. So let's make a load. Yeah. So another good example is a Metroidvania. A Metroidvania. If I use that term and you're a gamer, you know what that means. But it doesn't have anything to do with the... Well, Metroid is science fiction, very much so. Aliens and all that sort of malarkey. Castlevania is, well, horror, I suppose, but high fantasy gothic, really. But that it describes a type of gameplay. Well, I mean, you know what Metroidvania is. It's going around, probably platforming, probably some form of action, adventure type combat. But fundamentally, the mechanic it's describing is where you unlock skills or abilities that provide you access to different areas of the map. That's sort of the core feature of a Metroidvania that makes it a Metroidvania. The backtracking and the opening new areas and all that sort of stuff. And as I say, that has very little to do with traditional genres. And so we shouldn't really call a game that is a Metroidvania. We shouldn't use the term genre. It's the systems basically. So it's this type of entertainment is the descriptor of the type of game. And the basic point of like the video and stuff would be that that games are systemic entertainment. They're about systems. And those systems can extend to all sorts of things that you might not traditionally think of as systems. Such as story and things like that. But it would be a series of videos, but one of the sort of wider points to it is that, if you ever feel that a game, is a good game, but the story isn't very good, that's why. It's because the systems that are the gameplay mechanics are good, but the underlying, but the story side of things, which is probably not a system in that game. That game doesn't have story as a system, and it's down to whether or not it then had a good writer as to whether you feel that story is good. It's not been designed in the same way that the actual systems in the game have been designed and iterated upon and whatever. And it kind of leads to sort of a conclusion that for a lot of games, unless story is a system, so by that I would mean something like, a Telltale game is probably a good example. And games where you have sort of narrative choice. Although a lot of narrative choice in a lot of narrative choice in a lot of games is an illusion. There isn't really as much choice as you may think. Because they tend to make games impactful. They make the choices impactful rather than particularly numerous. So you don't actually decide that many things. You don't have, necessarily a lot of actual decisions to make. But the few you do, if they're made sufficiently significant, it makes you feel like you are impacting the story, the narrative, etc., etc. It's one of the failings of Cyberpunk which is to say, I quite liked its story, but if you're looking at it from an, RPG systems-driven perspective, you have virtually no agency. You have virtually no impact on that story. Failing's quite a bit of a harsh word, but in terms of what they sold it as, a lot of the spiel they used in the marketing was all, consequences of your actions and all this sort of stuff, and there are very, very few consequences to your actions. In Cyberpunk, but say, I personally like the game, and I didn't actually mind didn't quite... let's take her in there. Didn't quite do what its hype and marketing promised it would do. I'm rambling so much, but as I say, there's not a lot for me to say about this. I'm just putting down, you know, miners and... Can I put one in there? No. Put down miners and chests and all that sort of stuff so that we've got it all prepped and ready to go for when we... Not actually doing too bad. We might get this planet done way ahead of... I was a bit worried it was going to take all stream to do this, but we're doing quite well. So we've got 4 left. How many miners have we got? We're going to probably need some more, I would suspect. We've got 8, so probably do need 5 more. Probably going to need... Oh. That's as maximum belt we've got. At level 2 anyway. I could always use levels 1 and 3. Actually, should I do that? Because we've got the cold patch, so if we use... That's right, there are 2 cold patches actually. So we just use level 1 belt for that, I think. You can always upgrade it later. Miners, that's what I'm looking for. So to continue the ramble, what I was basically saying is I enjoy writing because that's kind of what I enjoy doing. But things like editing are sufficiently tedious that it kind of makes me not want to do them. Now maybe if I did videos that where more, you know, spectacular editing would be appropriate. Then maybe I'd enjoy them more, but the big problem there is I don't really like that kind of editing. You know, when I watch videos where what are you colliding with there? Someone's kind of gone a bit nuts. Is that gonna? It's not gonna reach, is it? Gone a bit nuts with the, you know. Yeah. Videos and, you know, swooshing graphics and all this sort of stuff. I generally find it a bit overbearing, particularly if it's a, I mean, well, no, that's wrong. If it's a video where, you know, a 10-minute, I don't know, listicle video, then it's okay. Not my personal preference generally. But if they're doing all sorts of visual tricks and whatever in those types of videos, I think that probably works and is, you know, perfectly fine. But if it's more like a, you know, the video I'm talking about, where it's just someone talking, and they call it B-roll, don't they? The, you know, the background sort of video. If it's just sort of fairly, you know, plain B-roll, that tends to suit the type of video I'm talking about more, in my opinion. Are you going to be powered up if I put you there? Right, so that's them done. so if we tap these as well, but use level 1 belt, then we shouldn't run out of level 1. So yeah, sort of a bit of a catch-22 in the sense of, you know, you would need to... These YouTubers that have, you know, big followings and stuff, means that they can afford to hire an editor. That went a bit weird. But of course, in order to get there, you have to have, you know, built that following. So, you know, you kind of have to have that almost desire to do the editing yourself before you can afford to hire someone else to do the editing for you. Whereas I'd prefer just to be able to write the video, you know, maybe perform it, as it were. Don't mind doing that. Am I going to have exactly the right... I think I'm going to have one too many, actually. Yeah, one too many. Thought I might end up with exactly the right number of miners. I think this is the last patch, isn't it? Is that right? We are very nearly there, lads. Very nearly there. Let's pop you there. Pop you there. Pop you... Can I put my one in there? Yeah. We need to connect these. Am I going to connect that way or that way? Let's see if we can connect. That's probably a bit far. That's definitely too far. So let's want to use one of these. Boop. Right, well that should be every single patch mined. Excellent. Excellent. Right, well then. We need to go... Well, do we need to go home? Let's have a look at what we got. Because I don't have any iron plate. Did I have any... Where the heck are my boxes that I put down? They're up at the... Are they here? South Pole? Yeah. Okay, so let's go and see what I had in my boxes as to whether I got any iron plate. If not, we're going to have to... Oh no, I've got smelters, haven't I? Oh yeah, I've got smelters. That's okay then. I can make some more iron plate here. Oh, and I got some iron plate in here. Brilliant. Right, so let's grab all of that. Don't really need... I could put them back actually. Don't really need any of them, and we don't need that either. So, if I leave the assemblers for... I might as well grab them actually. So that's a load of solar panels, wind turbines, one miner. We can see if I can plop that down actually, because I've got no other planets to put them on now. And then we got the bots there. I haven't got too much iron plate, but I've got enough in case I need to build something extra. Yeah, okay. So what I'm proposing, basically, is we have some big smelting areas, essentially. Because what we can do, we can belt over... and belt things across, you see. So for example, these two copper patches, we can have all of the copper come over here and smelt it all into copper plate, and then I need to make this decision whether what I'm going to make locally and what I'm going to make on, transport across, because I could just make copper... oh, it calls them ingots, doesn't it? Copper ingots. I could just make them and ship them, or we could convert some to magnetic coils, but the sort of problem with that, in quotes, it's not really a problem, is that, you need iron... well, you need iron ore to make the magnets, and we have relatively limited amounts. It's not minimal, but then everything you see, iron is much more heavily used, so this is all, so motors are, you've got magnets which are iron, they're iron, so it's very heavily iron focused in terms of everything you make. So you can make them, you see, make them locally, but are they used in anything other than these? I don't think so, certainly not at the moment. It only shows it's being made in the processors, and the processors do require iron plate. So say one big option is to make the raw stuff. We can do some secondary smelting. There's no titanium on this planet. There's no way of making organic stuff, so anything with sulfuric acid, like the graphene, is out. Okay, so I think I'm going to certainly set up some big smelting stuff. How many level 3 belts have we got? We've not got too many, actually. Let's see how far we get. Let's see how far we do. Where do I want to start? That's the big question. Why don't we... see, we've got half quarter of a planet just sat there doing nothing. More than that. Let's start with a bit of coal over here, because that'll get us graphene that we can use to fuel ourselves, at the very least. Give us a nice couple of nice big patches. Oops. Why aren't you landing? There you go. So, where's our boxes? Our boxes are there and there. Oh, I didn't connect that up, did I? No, I've got no... I was trying to look around a corner then, I don't know what I was doing there. Got no inserters. Right. So, what we could do is have the coal coming out of these two, meeting here somewhere, and going up. No, ideally we want it across, don't we, to benefit our lines. Do I need both of them together? I don't really, I suppose, do I? Could just do separate smelting. It's more important not to block myself in if I want to do more. Okay, so if we go this way and do that, and then we'll have, because this is level 3 belt, isn't it? I think you actually need 4 to fill a level 3 belt, I think. Depends on the stacking, I think. But we'll just put 3 in. Now I can't remember the maths. A level 3 belt, 30 per second. A smelter. Oh, it doesn't say. a smelter. Let's leave a bit of room. So that's our first one. For example. But this process... Oh, if we make... Oh. It went a bit weird then. If we process it into graphene... That takes... Ah, it didn't say. Didn't say how long it takes. Okay. Well, let's math it out. We know it was 6 before, wasn't it? For a level 1 belt. 6 per second, 12, 30 per second. So it's 5 times as much. So if this was 6, then it needs 30 to fully get through. Wow, that's a lot. Are you gonna let me put that on? No, I can't put one there. So really I need to... I mean, given it's 30, which is a lot, probably not worth really actually using level 3 belt. So if that's there, 1, 3, 6, 9, 12. So this is half. Okay. Let's put the power on. Power on there. I want to copy this across. Okay. Oops. And we'll put... Should we? Because ultimately these are going to go into the space things, but space things, the interstellar logistics, but I don't want to spend all my resources building them, just at the moment anyway. Especially not before I decide sort of how many I want to do. And we can always use this as sort of a buffer anyway. Right, so I need to connect all of these up. Do I need to do more than level 1? I don't think I do I? $30 a minute, which is 5 a second? So, is that right? So 60 seconds... Oh, it's 0.5 a second. Alright, looks like it's slower than I was anticipating. Okay. I mean, what I could do to save space is double-side it. That probably makes some sense, doesn't it? If I did double-side it, it would probably have to connect there. Well, it's slowly trickling down, isn't it? Sure, you've used the new upgrade to... Okay. Oh, I should have used Shift. So my current thinking is we set up the main things, as it were, in a sort of reasonable, size and volume. Where do I want to put this? So if I do it there, I can do that. Take that one out, or them two rather, and then connect that there. Why are you not? Oh, where did they go? Don't quite understand. Where my what? Bots disappeared to? This is okay speed-wise, isn't it? Yeah, we've not got any slowdowns or blockages. Has that connected those two smelters? It has, hasn't it? So, da. Yep, so it's not quite filling the belt on the output. I say I'm pretty sure you need 4. And this should be dropping way down, yeah, okay. So what we can do is bring the material over from this one. Need to be a little bit careful. I mean, that's iron, so that's not too much of a problem. So we can bring this over. You see, you still end up with lots of belts in this system. It's not, you don't stick it in, every single one. You fill with, you put into interplanetary debris or whatever. You still have plenty of belts kicking about. It's just that you can sort of focus what you're building into local areas rather than, so on the other planet, because these recipes are really simple. It's just coal in and graphene out, so it's relatively limited number of belts. Oh, I've put the things on the wrong way round. There we go. And upgrade them as well, maybe? Because I've got lots of inserters, haven't I? Yeah, got loads of the buggers. Why have you stopped? You stopped surely because there's no belt. Yeah, I can't reach the belt. So it'll just gap fill anything, and when this runs out, like it has done now. So are you full now? No, you're not quite full. But we can certainly grab some graphene for ourselves. How are we doing? So I want a little bit more. Cool EO. And then one of the things I discovered, you can't double up. Because one of the things I thought is when you have one of those interplanetary things, you could fill every slot, because you've got 5 slots. You could fill everyone with coal, or carbon or whatever, but you can't. It doesn't seem to let you double up. So if you got one of them, we might as well put multiple things into it. So, rather than have lots of them. So as I say, we're going to have to belt stuff around anyway. They are very loud, the smelters. It's not quite... Yeah, it is getting to the end. Yeah, cool. Okay. So, let's do the same basic idea with copper. Now, can we double up between this one and this one? We've got the thing there. And the thing there. So maybe if we have... build out our actual smelters in that direction? Yeah, that makes some sort of sense, I think. Now, if I put you there... Are you going to moan about being too close? No, you are not. You are going to moan about not having enough power, though. Oh, I put all of them things away, didn't I? Oh well. So, if we say we put our smelters somewhere over here, just do a bit of space. Would that make sense? And then we can have the belt coming this way, avoiding the old thing, and perhaps putting it into a chest here, and then this copper will come down from here. Let's take it out of there, because obviously we've got the existing power connection, and let's take it round here somewhere. Connect it up like that, and put these boys here. How are we doing time-wise? I was a bit late, wasn't I? So about an hour in. So I thought it was going to take me all episode that to put the miners on. So I'm pleased about that. Now this is quicker, isn't it? Because it's 1 second, whereas that's 2 seconds. So in theory we need half as many, so might actually be alright with a single line. Whereas 15 is probably a bit much, isn't it? Because it's half as many. 3, 6, 9. 12. It's quite long. Said the actress to the bishop. So, might need higher sorter speeds. Not sure. About that. Have a look. So are you being slowed down at all? Oh, well you are, because this has got nowhere to go. Yeah, so you slowed down or impeded in any way? Nope, doesn't look like it. What's the point? How are we doing power-wise? So these are pretty power-hungry from memory. Oh, we did end up around 200 meg. That's good. So we're only at 25 consumption. Okay. But then we're not doing a lot with it, so... No, it's nowhere near. No, it's nowhere near being used up, is it? I think I got my maths half out, didn't I? Yeah. So I think probably this needs to be 30 to fully do a thing. And the other one needed to be 60. So something I would add, now it's probably quite, well, maybe not quite a good idea. God, they are loud them for a mod. But something I would add is, like much later in the tech tree, is a like auto smelting miner. So it doesn't just mine the stuff, it smelts it as well. And that's how I would get around this issue that I don't think blueprints can work, because you would massively alleviate a lot of the having to put sorters on. You know, if this here, there was a new version of that, and not upgraded, but you know, a level 2 of that which also did smelting, you could make it really energy, expensive, make it bigger, so it's more difficult to put down, those sorts of things. But it outputs directly to a belt, so you don't need inserters at all. So you don't have to tediously do this all the time. That's interesting. One of them's... Oh, have I put level 3? I have, haven't I? But it's interesting that 2 of them is meeting the production demand, as it were. So how many have we got here? We've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. So it is 30. And it looks like, actually... I guess because there is that technology we did, isn't there, that boosts smelter speed. So we probably don't need 30. Because this is just building up stuff. Isn't it? 98, 99, 100. Yeah, so it's stopped because there's no room to put it on the belts, and the belt is full here. And so I guess that's because of that, tech boost that we did. So we can actually cut 4 of these miners out, by the looks of things. I mean, it won't work now because this is full, but... Well, it makes sense, doesn't it? Because, as I say, whatever boost that was, 10% or whatever. Right, so that's copper. What should we do next? What's a good iron one to do? Because the copper and graphite we can't really do anything else with. Because, you know, they get made into plastic, but you need the oil. They get used in... Oh, it could make diamonds. That might be worth making here. But graphene also requires sulfuric acid. And copper, as we know, is made into all sorts of stuff. But mostly requires something else, particularly iron. Which, although I will smelt it here, that'll be more for local use, I think. Okay, so shall we find a good place to do some iron? Shall I just go and do this? In fact, is there only one iron patch? I thought there were two. So there's 500,000 total. And that's got 500,000 in it. So there really is only one iron patch. Okay. So we'll go and do this iron. Now where do we want to put this? If we put this... Where's the box? There's the box. I'm thinking about putting it in that direction. So if I bring the material down, I think I'm going to be out of, yeah, level 3 belts, aren't I? So if we just... And this is the local supply stuff anyway, so not sort of too worried about this. Although I'll probably put enough smelters down to... If I want that to go through there. Through that gap. Which way round? Yeah, that way round. So how many smelters can we do? So leave a little bit of a gap at the beginning. Let's put this on and then do the copy and paste. Do I want that on both sides there? Yeah. Was it? I can't remember. We knocked 4 off, didn't we? Oops. So 3, 6, 9. So 6, 12, 18. It's a better way of counting it. Let's continue this on the other side. Let us break on through to the other side. Yeah, I'll leave a gap there. 1 space, and then 2, 3. Oh, that's not copied the recipe. Okay. So, 6, 12, 18, 24, and then should be 30, but we know we don't need that many. So, put that there. It must... Oh, that's right. Why didn't that have the recipe on it then? Not quite sure I understand that. Let's put that in there. Oh, you're not powered. That's very inconvenient of you. How very dare you? How very dare you? Let's put the box on this side. And we want... Oh no, it's coming out the other way, isn't it? So... take that out, sorry, and then we want this here. Oops. And put that up to there. Take it round our pole. Take it down there. And do our little thing to a half step jump. Oops. And then down to ground. Bosh, bosh, bosh. Put that on there. I didn't put outputs on this, did I? Let's put 3 on, did I? Yeah. It's all a bit of a waste, that, because it's only level 1 at the moment. But, you know, whatever. That. Yeah, so as I say, a mod might work, but and maybe it's in the tech tree and I've just not seen it. But so I was the dev, so I would put in a upgraded miner that does smelting. Particularly because the miner connects. That's not got a recipe on it either. What's happened there? The miner connects. Why have you stopped? Oh, because you're not going to need material. Directly to the belt. You know, without needing to. Confuse myself there. Without needing to use an inserter, because it's this bit that's a bit tedious, basically. And there's not really any way of speeding it up, you know, because you could have all sorts of different lines, you know, going in and out and around and about, and in different inserter speeds, and you know, you've got 3 connection points on each side, so you've got, quickly does the maths in his head, 12 total connection points, you know, so it's a whole massive conundrum as to sort of how you would do any sort of blueprint on that. And as I say, my solution would be to not do a blueprint on that. So yeah, so the basic idea is what we want to put here is the on-planet, the intra-planet thing, and that loads up iron plate. And then I can go over here, for example, you know, just randomly, and have one requesting iron plate, put it here, say, and it outputs, say, you know, along that direction, and you convert it all into gears, and then you send it back again and stick it into this one. And as I say, it's up to you then how you manage it. You know, this could be an interplanetary one, which requests up the iron plate and sends out, you know, locally, and sends out gears interplanetary and locally. You know, it's up to you how you do that side of it. But the basic point is, you know, if this was the only area of spare land I had, at the moment, without using those, you've got to belt it all over, and so you get into the whole, well, do I do a main bus? And how do I do a main bus? How much resources is it going to take me? And I say, because of the curvature of the planets and all that sort of stuff, I think that's it's like a waste of time, basically, and resources and effort and material. Or your other thing is just to spaghetti it, and so we could have lines coming out of here going all over the shop, you know, round and around and around. And that's fine when you're like this, to a degree, because you just open space and you can put machines wherever you want. But as you saw on our main planet, you know, with its islands and having to landfill and all of that sort of rubbish, it's very, very tedious, and it doesn't work very well at all. So I say this is the way to go. Oops. Pick it up. This is the way to go to use the interplanetary logistics, but to my mind, you know, setting it all up properly takes ages. And I say I didn't need to do this. I could have done it as and when, but I don't know. It just sort of seems to be a better way to do it. Okay, so let's grab a bit more carbon. So we've got iron plate being produced. We've got copper plate being produced. We haven't got any silicon being produced. How much silicon? Yeah, it's got loads of silicon, isn't it? So we should get some of that on the go. We've got the chest there, but I don't want to put it too close to my carbon. So, and this is big empty space, so we'll weave it around here. So we level 1 belting it again, which I can upgrade at some point. So if we have, so ideally that wants to be the coming back line, doesn't it? Yeah. So then, if I've only got 18 smelters left, crikey. How many more of them can I make? Loads, I imagine. Yeah, let's make a bunch of them then. And if we have the thing coming out of here, like so, go around there, and then 1, 2, 3, bosh. So it's going to be like that, and then the line will be there. Don't think I'm too fussed about putting too many of these in, but we'll leave the space, sort of thing. So if the crate's going to end up being here somewhere, we do want a little bit of space. Well, actually, let's do it the other way around. So if this was our closest smelter, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's our smelter. Outputting again, the crate, chest rather, not crate. It's going to be here. And we can do the bounce over on that side of it. So if I just put them in as kind of placeholders. Actually, let's do that. And that. So this is smelting silicone. Do. No, so I want that there, don't I think? Cool. And we want, I didn't put the things on. Oh, I haven't put those on. Crikey, missed them off. Cool EO. So like that. Like that. And we want to weave this belt round. Oh? Why are you doing that? Oh, I don't know. Explain that one to me. Oh, it's up in the air, that's why. Can I do a... yeah, mass delete. Why was that up? Oh, of course, because I was fiddling about with a thing, wasn't I? So, take that down to background. I think I said this on one of my earliest streams. That sort of thing of it, you know, not connecting and stuff. It would be quite easy to see that in VR. I think that would be a good way of, you know, seeing that problem. Got no inputs on these. How are we doing power-wise now? So still only at 20. There's a lot of this that's just sort of stopping, you know, once it's filled a chest, so I'm not sort of surprised by that. As such... okay, so we've got silicon being made, we've got carbon being made. Can't do titanium, let's do stone brick. What I could do with this... how many patches of stone have I got? Because I've got a few, haven't I? And there's loads of stone. Because what we could do is we could have one that makes stone, you know, stone bricks, one that makes glass, and then we could also convert that glass, you know, another one that makes glass that we then convert into prisms. In the same way that we could have another silicon patch that, you know, creates the crystal silicon, and another diamond carbon patch that produces diamonds. I quite like that idea. Yeah, let's do that. So we need a stone brick patch to produce stone brick, one to produce glass, and one to produce prisms. Okay. So, ideally, actually, it might be better to find three that are relatively close together. So we've got stone, stone... that's quite a way away. Oh, stone there. So we have got 3 stone here, but they're sort of got all sorts of stuff around them, really. Yeah, let's do something like that. So we'll have... we'll use these. We'll do these 3. Where are we? Down here. Where are we going? Over this way, I think. Because it'd be kind of nice to feed all of those 3 into a, you know, a single interplanetary logistics. Oops. So might as well have them relatively close together. But which one do we do where? So that one, and that one. How about we have that one? Do that one first. So we have this coming out of here. Oh, what was it saying it collides with? So that's coming out of there. Now what's the production on stone brick? 1 second, 1 bit. So it's the 30 again, isn't it? And what's this? This is 2 seconds for 1, and this is gold all over the place. 3 in 2 seconds in and 2 and 3 and 3 and 2 and 2 and 3. Okay. That's maths. So I'm thinking we have a big line, basically. But we don't do in-out, which is very naughty. We shouldn't do that. How many more of them can I make? 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay. So we want a bit of a gap. And then our first one there. And this is making stone. Oh, no, right, wrong thing. Stone brick. And so we copy and paste this. 2, 3, 1. Oops. That's wrong. Three. So that's 6. 9. 12. My gosh, I can count. 15. 18. 21. And then if it was 4 off, 26, isn't it? So that's 24. Oops. And this is 26. Right. So the idea being that this goes up here, and then rather than bring it back out of build range, okay, we take it this way and take it to wherever we're going to have our interplanetary logistics. So we've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 25, 26. Okay. Blimey. No, that's what put them in while they fill the belt in. And we want that. Dum da dee. Crikey. So if I put a chest where, for the time being, I put it on this side, I think. Oh. Why are you... What are you saying you're collisioning with? Nothing. Okay. Change your mind, that's fine. It's good. Good that you're open to changing your mind. Far too few people in the world are willing to change their mind. I'm not going to be able to power it all though, am I? Let's pick that up. No, same problem. You little bleeder. Okay. Okay, let's put a power pole in. Why is no stone being produced? What have I failed? How have I failed? They're all going in the right direction, aren't they? I have failed to put outputs on this chest, which also needs a power connection. Unless I can sneak a... Oh, I can't. I haven't got any. I'm just going to try and sneak a turbine in, but not got any. So that's all of that coming out. That's all of that going in. Now, is the recipe for... You don't have to make it into stone brick first, do you? No, you directly smelt it. Yeah, okay. But it's going to require 2 in 2 seconds. Is 1 in 1 second, isn't it? So it's exactly the same size, I think, isn't it? Or am I going mad? So if we were to put... Because I quite like to have all the chests. What about... This one's more complicated, isn't it? Prisms. So it might be better to do prisms there. And then if we... Where's this other stone? There it is. And we have this going that way, and then we can eventually feed it up. Yeah, I like that idea. The decision has been made. There will be no changing of minds. Lack of item? Oh, it's because I've got the wrong belt. I say I got nearly 1,000 of the little things. Delightful little things. Should I bother putting all of these down? Because it means building a bunch more. Because I've got 2 options. I could start making some stuff locally. Or I could just fly back home. Oh, that's too many. Oh, I didn't put the recipe on it either anyway. So this is now making glass, isn't it? Is that right? Yeah, glass. So we want to copy and paste this. The other option they could do is it copies and pastes the... Unless I've been being massively dumb, and actually it already does that. But it copies and pastes the inserters you've put on. Sorters, sorry. Let's try that. If I do that, and now I copy and paste it, will you put the inserters on? No. Okay. So, because it could shortcut that, you could just automatically try and put the inserters you've got on. The trouble with that is, you know, the belt might not be there, or, you know, there's no... It goes around a bend or something. 1, 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh, let's put too many on again. And copy and paste that. That's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oops. 2, 3. So we've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, and 2 more. I do wish you could do drag build as well, so as in you just, you know, hold the left mouse button and drag across. That would be quite useful, particularly with the same power pole situation that you get in Factorio, where you want to put power every machine or extend across a large distance, so you want it to intelligently pick between putting things at max distance and putting them, you know, to provide full coverage. Factorio is a remarkable game on so many levels. It's just phenomenal. I mean, it's not the sort of game everyone is going to like. I'm not ever going to pretend that. But you know, if you look at the quality of what they've done, it's just next level. You know, it's almost like I was blathering on about Metroidvanias earlier on. You could almost say that it has I mean, there were, you know, building and management games before, but you could almost call them Factorio games now. Certainly this type of game, because it is such a perfect example of what it is, that's been so well executed. You know, the quality of life stuff that's in it is just staggering, really. Right, so we have a million billion glass things, give or take. Yeah, I think I might fly home and stock up. Are you making glass for me? You're making glass for me. Excellent. So we want this here temporarily. Well, I suppose this will stay, but we're not laying down the actual final logistics thingies. We're just filling a chest. Yeah, because I need loads and loads of level 3 belt, really. Probably more than I've actually made on the other planet, so I could change some of the chest caps. Shall we go and do that now then? Go back home. I'm going to put a chest down here. No, let's keep everything together so I've not got random chests all over the place. So we'll stick a load of stuff in this chest here. Or one of these chests, two of these chests. Some multiplicity of chests. And what do I want? Yeah, let's put all of this gubbins in here. I'll keep them. And then all of these types of gubbins. Actually, let's just do that and then grab them back. Just control left clicking on things, and it's just they've copied Factorio basically. It's exactly the same controls as that in terms of shift, and you know, so if you hold shift and it'll move the stack over, but if you right click it'll let you, well, that's different what Factorio does. Half stacks basically. Yeah, okay, so let's go and fly home and sort of grab a whole load of stuff. Now, where is home? Où est le home? There it is. So this sort of stuff is the perfect example of the type of things you would need to cut out of a Let's Play series. So you would need to do lots of editing. And for me, probably not very much fun. But I also don't think it makes very good viewing for a stream. But it's far, far easier to just record it. You know, just do a stream and it's there. Oh, run out of gas. You know, it's there if somebody wants to watch it. What I should really do is go back and do timestamps. Where the heck am I going with this? I'm going the wrong direction, aren't I? Shouldn't I be going... Oh no. Where's my research stuff? I was going to try and do a quick charge, but... Because I know I've got my thing over there. Where the heck are the... Because that... Oh, it's there. Where am I? Oh, it's miles away. Let's head over to where our stuff is, which is North Pole, I think. And I'll just do a slow charge. Yeah, it's the sort of stuff that, you know, you would cut out of a Let's Play, really. Because is it particularly interesting for me to have spent a couple of hours? I mean, I didn't even do it on stream, a lot of it. But it was just an uncommentated, sped up, as-is footage that someone could watch if they were particularly interested or wanted a bit background or something. But you just cut that out of a Let's Play. But doing that takes ages because you've got to watch it all through. I should have left that proper charging station over by them. That was a mistake. Alright, we're getting there. We're halfway there. Let's go. I don't really need these intermarries too much, but what I do want to do is whack this way up. I think we're getting to the stage where... Let's take them. So we're kind of getting to the stage where... A bit like in Victoria, where you kind of just want to carry around the top level stuff, even though it's probably inappropriate to always use the top level belt and top level inserters and stuff. It's just far easier to only carry that stuff about, and if it's over the top, it's over the top. You know, it's that sort of like these. I probably, if I whack that up to 2. You know, and we could probably get away with never really using the intermediary levels again. Let's take some of them with us since we got a stack built up. Oh, how many of these have we got? Oh yeah. Oh, they only stack to 20. Those stack to 100. Let's increase that limit then. How many do I want? Let's do 100, so that's 5. I thought they stacked higher. We've got some of these. Yeah, let's take some of them. Take some more of this. And we don't. If I take some more of these with us, because we're going to set up some local logistics, and we'll take these. And we want just a smattering of this stuff. We don't really need copper because we've got loads of that. Smattering of these basics. We need all of them. So we don't really need that. Should I take? No, let's not bother with. Not bother with steel. It's really the belts we needed loads of. How quickly is it making them? Not very quickly. Okay, let's just take a load of level 1 belts instead. In fact, let's take all of them. You can always bring them back. Right. Now we need to head over to the other side. Break on through to the other side. And grab like 1,000,000 smelters. We've not got 1,000,000 smelters. We should have 1,000,000 smelters. Because we're at that stage in our build. Take all of them. Don't need them. Don't need them. Let's take a thingy just in case. We want them. Should we take... Yeah, let's take a stack of them. Should really be making level 2s, but they're a bit of a faff to make. Don't need that storage, but we should take some more of the other storage. Leave silicon, glass, stone. So take some more of them. Any of these we haven't got? No, we've got all of them. Oops. Right, so let's see how many of these we can make. So, don't really need wind turbines. I mean, I could take some with us. For, you know, for later use, as it were. We've got a few over there. Let's just take a few with us, so we don't need any more of them really. Accumulators. And energy exchangers. Because they're the things I need to make here next, really, but I'd rather finish, you know, all of that stuff. What I could do is I could build some of these, couldn't I? I can't because I haven't got titanium and steel on me. Should we manually make a few of them? So I do need steel. 2 stacks of that. A few stacks of these. Oh, is it not reinforced titanium for them? So I want planetary ones. So if I make... Can I make 5 of them? I can make 5 of them. Shall I make 5 of them? Yeah, let's make 5 of them. And then I would need more of them. Yeah, that'll make me let me make... So I want to grab the stuff I've just used up, which is what, mostly these boys. Not make them too quickly, have I? Need one more, really. What are you waiting on? You're working on turbines. Turbines. I mean... Oh, what they... Oh, sorry, those are orbital collectors, aren't they? I don't need... So it's graphene, really. So I could grab some graphene. Am I putting graphene in a box over here? I don't think I am. No, we do not have a box of graphene. We should have a box. Oh. Okay. Let's just manually grab a few then. Because we've got graphene on the other planet. Got a couple of hundred over there. How are we doing? 150. How are we doing 2 hour time wise? We're nearly at 2 hours. Okay, let's do that. And then if I want to make one of them, I still can't make one of them because I haven't got copper on me. Of course I haven't. I've got loads of copper on the other planet. So that's fine, I'm not fussed about that. Yeah, okay, so we've got some of them. It's probably not enough. But it will do. What else might I want to take with us? I might take a little... No, let's leave that. So we'll head back to where we're working. On our other planet. Zap over there. I might have gone a bit quick there because I don't want to bounce off it again. There we go. Right, let's find Thingamby pole so we can at least get a bit of charging going on. Okay, like that. Right. So if we do the final... If we make prisms? I'm going to say prisms. Here. Which... Where are we going to make that? Where's our third? That's not stone, is it? Where's our stone for prism making? Where are you? Oh, it's up here, isn't it? So that's regular stone. That's the one there. So this is glass. And this is stone. Okay, so we want to head this way, was it? Look. Oh. Went a bit enthusiastic with my button pressing. Right. Because this one is a little bit complicated, isn't it? Let's go and stand by a charger while I look at the recipe. There you go. So we want to make prisms. We know that it takes the 30, 24, no 26. Oh, that's the point. It's 26, not 24. How many have I been doing? Oh, it doesn't matter. It's 30 to turn all of the stone from a high level thing into glass. But then we only need a third as many prism, thingamies, assemblers. So we would only need 10 of them. I think that's right. So what we can do, because the other, I mean, we could get really fancy in a sense in that we could have 3 smelters feeding into 1 prism. You know, directly, without belts on it, basically. I kind of fancy doing something like that, just as a bit of variety. So what I'm basically saying is you have this coming out here. How would we do this? So, because it's 3 to 1, isn't it? That's a bit of that apple from the start of the stream. Because to do 3, if we did something like... Actually, because those are bigger, aren't they? Can you fit 3 in directly? Don't think you can. So this is... Because what I'm thinking is you basically have some arrangement where... The trouble is, as I say, they're different sizes. So I don't think it would quite work as I was thinking. I was effectively thinking you could have a smelter, assembler there, and then 3 around it. And you could potentially do it. So if you imagine that's an assembler, they're probably too close to insert anyway. Yeah. But you have the, you know, stone coming down the middle, and then they're picking off at the sides. Let's put, if I put that as a, oh, I haven't got any. Okay. So it'd be in there basically, and then, you know, you have one like that, and then that's your assembler there. You see what I mean? And the stone comes down the side, and we feed the. Or you could do it the either way around. You could do the stone around the outside, or oops, prisms in the middle. The trouble with that is that these are bigger, so I don't think it'll fit. Don't think it quite works in terms of that's too close. How far away does it have to be? So that would work. And we can have the material coming that way. I'll have to move this all over a bit anyway, it's all far too close. What does that? So if this is the output of stone, and then we want a bit of a gap, so plenty of gap, and so we want really an assembler there, but is that too close? No, that's fine. And then that's there. And then this is here. Is that too close? No, that's fine. Okay. And put that there. That's probably too close. This is all assuming I've got my maths right. There's a very, very good chance I haven't got my maths right at all. So this comes back this way, you see? And then we have... So that would be that one there. And that's there, and that's there. And that one's there. The other thing I need to factor in is the space for, oops, for the actual power poles, but that should kind of take care of itself actually. And then we have you there, and then you and you and you. And this is around the outside. Does this work? So you've got 3, 3, 3, 3. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So in theory that's only half a thing. So it's effectively 3 and an assembler there, isn't it? If I'm repeating that pattern. So that should be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Put that there. My muscle memory is making me click CPU. So I'm kind of defaulting to Factorio style. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which is 8, 16, 24. So one more. I'm not sure this will quite work because of that whole boost thing. You know, the buff. So how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. Should we have one more, or... Yeah, let's just have one more, just for sort of completeness. So that should go there. This should go here. This should be up there. Why didn't that connect properly? There we go. And this should be here. And this is where I discover the... No, that's all fine. Yes, this is where I discover the maths is all completely wrong. And that it doesn't really work like that. Certainly with the buff, I don't think it makes sense. Actually, because these are going to produce too much. So probably one's going to end up sat mostly idle. I think. So if we go in there, in there, in there. So actually if I put prism on these first, so I don't accidentally mess something up. So we want to go there, 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 there. And then you want to process this into glass. So we want to copy that into all of these. I didn't copy. There must be a distance limit to the copy function. So that's making glass. What about on the other end? Did these get missed off? That one seems to have. And then we'll put the power in. If I put it there, there. Actually, could I get away with it there? That would be more aesthetically pleasing, I think. So it's before that one. Hopefully that'll be okay. It's there and there. Okay. So we want... Oh, that's annoying. Oh! No, don't do that. There we go. So this... What am I doing? So that's coming in from there. Gonna hook all of these ones up first, I think. And you don't have a recipe. Why don't you have a recipe? There. So let's get all of these ones hooked up. Already done that one. And then let's get these attached to the belt. So that there. Oh no, you've already got one. Okay. And then attach these to the belts. That's going from the... That's the wrong thing. Okay, and then we want... Oh, did I do the outputs, I think? Did I do all of the outputs? That's an output, 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 output. Output, 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 output. Okay, so... Let us hook this little bad boy up. Oh, and you've not got Prism recipe. So I think because these overproduce, they're going to fill the machines up, and one of them will sort of sit there idle. And of course this isn't, because I've not, you know, it needs 4 to properly fill the belt, so that's another point that it's another thing I've done wrong. So let's take this over here. Oh, given... Oops, what are you doing? Given the whole fact it's only like producing a third, I don't really need maximum speed belt really. Thinking about it. So we have prize M's, and I think that's a good place to end the episode, end the live stream. Oh, I put the wrong things on. Definitely time to end. Let's top the mech up though first. Yeah, you see it's nowhere near a full belt. It's like a third of it basically. And these are sort of starved because they're not getting all of the stone. Because this is not outputting... Oh, it's empty now. So I could actually... What belt did I put on? Oh, this was only green belt, wasn't it? So we could see how far we can get. So that's all... Is it upgrade? You for upgrade, there we go. Because these aren't producing stone at the rate they would need to fill this anyway, but I'm not too fussed about that, to be honest with you. So there we are, mega prism production, basically. Cool. Great stuff. Right, well, yeah, we'll end the stream there. If anyone has been watching, particularly on playback, thank you for doing so. Thank you for making it to the end. If you liked it, you know, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the like button, all those sorts of good YouTube things. Probably not the most interesting of episode, but we got a lot further than I thought we were going to get in terms of... What's the power situation? Yeah. In terms of... I thought we'd spend all episode putting these miners down, but long way off that. I've got most of them tacked, in fact. So we've got iron ingot, which is going to be local production. Copper is there. Silicon is there. Titanium's not on the planet. We've got graphite, stone brick, glass, prisms. We can do crystal first thing next time, and we can do diamonds next time, and that's the sort of, shall we say, super raw materials. And then we can do a bit of local production using our, you know, our, what do you call them, intraplanetary things, and then set everything up for shipping to other planets. The idea I'm basically going for is we will then go to the ice planet and set that all up. Although I've kind of done that, haven't I? We need iron from the ice planet, basically. Because if we're taking copper and stone stuff from here, we probably need iron from the other planet. So we'll set all that up and ship it over to our main planet, and then we'll set up some nice big production areas for... So one of the things I'm debating is, do I actually say, because this is a really nice planet with big open spaces, you know, the entire eighth of the planet there, an eighth of the planet there, most of the eighth of the planet there, you know, most of an eighth of the planet there. So we've got like half the planet is empty. So I'm actually wondering, do I ship iron ore from the ice planet to here and make all of the basics here? So I could make, you know, magnetic coils and everything. I'd have to ship like iron ore to make them, as well as iron ingots, but we could ship them all here, and so we get all of the super basic stuff, or maybe even we go fairly complicated and we get these things going, because we've got so much stuff here, and it's only really the things that need organic chemistry, plastics, graphene, that we have to make locally on our planet, and everything else we sort of ship in. I quite like that idea, but that's going to take even longer. And then we can finally start moving our science forward. Yeah, okay. I'm on holiday next week, so I'm going to do some long streams. I'm going to try some long streams. You know, maybe even all day at one point. Is kind of what I'm thinking. Just more as an experiment, see how it goes, see whether I like it or not. As an old person, my bladder doesn't hold out so long, so might have to think how I cope with that. But yeah, I say, you know, this type of stuff I really enjoy playing. I'm not sure it makes... Oh, look, that's all very pretty. Bit of sunset, bit of God rays, lovely jubbly. I'm not sure it makes a great stream, but if you did watch, maybe you could tell me, do you enjoy watching this sort of stuff? Would you prefer it as a live stream? I mean, YouTube stopped recommending my videos, so no one's going to see this, but that's a whole different question. But anyway, yes, so if you've been watching, thanks for doing so. Maybe come back for another one. But yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers. Ending episodes is hard.